Okay, so this is the AppHub website. Well, just make it informal. This is the AppHub website. So just to show you that it's live, we had a presentation by Harness before. So here you have a project called Harness, and typically what projects do, is they put their information, number of things, and they can put what we call assets. So here you see that our Harness has got 3 assets, whatever they are. So that's how the projects can put their assets. Assets can be for different types. I'm just discovering it now, so I don't know what this is. So this is by Guillaume Pierre, who talked earlier, and okay, and it's got a link to a web page, and it's got a link to the project. So you can put various types of assets, which could be links, which could be PDFs, which could be pieces of software. And so if you haven't got an account, if you're a project, what you can do is you register. So it's all self-service. You just put your name, email, etc., and you will create an account. And once you've got the account, you can log in. And if you log in, you're directed to your dashboard. You can see your projects. If you've got some, if you go to project, you can add a project. So this is very much self-service. And when you add a project, you just give it a name, a title, some description. You go on. I mean, you can create the project with some information, create the assets with some data. So what I'm just going to do is I'm going to show you a simple asset which we've built, which is a website. So a website as in a website with content. So here in my dashboard, I'll go back to my dashboard, I've got my projects. So I've got this one, which is my web server. So I've got this web server, and the asset of the web server is this one. So basically, I say that it's from the AppHub project team. It's a deployable software, and it's a website. So I don't say very much more than that. To build a website, then we give you access to what we call the factory. So the factory is a place where you can create the piece of software that will the template, so the actual model containing your software. So when you create, you're given a choice of operating systems. So here we support the major Linux as one, and for each Linux you've got to choose your version if you have some specific version that you want. So in our case, if I go back to the one that I've created, the web server, it happens to be CentOS 7 up there in the corner, and each piece of software has a stack. So the stack is made of the operating system profile. So basically you've got your operating system packages. So by default we give you a minimal profile. Now if you know that your software needs, I don't know, libcurl or something, you can search for libcurl, and it will give you the libcurl's packages. You can search for any packages. Okay. So that's if you have the package from the operating system. Now, how do you bring your own software? So you've got your software library, which is my own pieces of software. So in my case, I've got the web content of my web server, which is basically one file, which is a web content.zip. So we'll see how I install that. These pieces of software can be used for several templates. So if your project has different types of installations, say one with a PostgreSQL database, one with a MySQL database, you could build 2 templates with 2 different databases, but still using the same binaries for your software. So here you can see that my software is used by one template. So I go back to my template, to the stack. So what I have is my OS packages. I forgot to say that I added HTTPD because it's a web server. Okay, and now the last part is the configuration. So I've got 2 boot scripts, one which is to bootstrap the network in the OpenStack platform that I'm going to show you I've used, which I'll skip, and the other one which is the actual website configuration. So it's very simple. Remember, I had my web content here. So what I do is I just unzip it, make it owned by Apache, and start HTTPD, and that's it. I've got my website. So the the interesting part is here you have your template, which is your content, all the packages you need. And now the whole idea is that the user will be able to use it in any kind of environment. So we've got this little generate button up there. And when you generate, we can generate to any of those cloud formats, which is, well, we try to keep up with the industry. So this is all the OpenStack, CloudStack, VMware, etc. We support also the what we call virtual formats, which don't need an infrastructure as a service. So all the major ones again. If you really want to run it on your physical machine, we can generate an ISO for you if you want. And here I can see that for this template I have generated the other day an OpenStack image. Okay, And I've actually published it, so you've got a little publish arrow here, so which means that I've published it to an OpenStack server. So to do that, I have an account, which is a cloud account for OpenStack, which is hosted by W2, which runs OpenStack. So I have to give the credentials to be able to get in. And in the cloud accounts, you can create cloud accounts for all these different types of clouds. So if you've got your own VMware, if you want to use Amazon's, Google's, whoever, I mean, it's we try to keep up with the different standards. So once you have that, let's just have a look here. On my OW2 stack, I've got the images. You can see that I had uploaded that image. And I've got instances. So here I have my AppHub web server, which is running. It's got that IP address. So let's just go there. Here we go. So I've got my web server answering. So it's just a dummy web content for the demo. So that's a web page. You can go back to the directory, to the factory. Okay, so it's just a web page. So if I click here, it's just some web content. Okay, that's live on OpenStack. So now, that's for the technical part. Remember, we had the factory to build the actual templates, which then users will be able to use in any cloud. And we've also got the marketing part, which is the store. So in the store, your template will look like, so here I've got 3 templates in there. So if I open my Apache web server template, as it looks like in the store, the keywords appear in nice little boxes. The AppHub team will be able to put some labels, some badges, so the administrator can do that. You've got the description. So here my description is not very sexy, but we offer Markdown as a language, so you can put as long as you want descriptions. In the features, you can again put as long as you want descriptions. We've got a little review TripAdvisor type things where you can say that you like it or hate it. In pricing, because it's all about open source, you can download it. Okay, even though the product offer other business models, in this case of this project, the moment it's free. For support, so I've added here a few URLs, but you can add the long descriptions. Here, I don't think there's any. No, there's no release notes here, but you could add release notes, etc. So that's what you can do from the marketing viewpoint. I think I've got another one. The case of Hammer, yeah, there's a little bit more Markdown here, and I think in Node features, I didn't. One of them I had add screenshots, but this one doesn't. Okay, you can do. And this is typically what the user does. So when we're integrating the last version at the moment, so when the user clicks download, it will actually import the template, the same templates that you've seen, into the end user's factory, where he can generate the format of his choice. And because the template is open, the user will be able to change. For example, if you've put a package version that the user wants to override, he can change, he can modify it, he can add things to its scripts, he can add his own middleware if he wants to. So it's not only your software that's configured, but it's also open for the end users to be able to add stuff to it and change the configuration. So that's the demo in
So
5 minutes.
Go for it. One question. So in Ascetic at the moment, we use Chef to manage our
Configuration?
Installation and configuration of our components within our architecture. Is that something that we could?
It's very complementary. So we Usersoft have got a number of customers that use the product. Some of them actually came to us because mine is Zynga. I don't know whether you know Zynga, online gaming. So they have 20,000 servers, and when they produce their base image, they're full Puppet. So the thing they did is when they released a new base image, they just had the base image bare with no software in it. They instantiated the 20,000 server with a base image, and all of them went, Puppet, give me the bits, and the network went down. So what they're doing now with our product is they put the binaries inside the image, but they keep Puppet for all the post configuration. So you can do a mix of both. Same with Chef. So you could say all the binary things are in your machine. You can integrate the Chef configuration and still call Chef at boot time to do the rest. You can mix both. Yes?
I should have asked this question during Peter's presentation earlier, maybe, but I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed. And
Okay, thank you.
and I wanted really to use this, and of course this raises the issue about longevity of this platform, because if we put it up there, establish the scripts, etc., what will happen after the AppHub project
Finishes. It's a good question. We're asking us the same question.
Yeah.
It's part of the AppHub project to answer the question.
In 2016.
Exactly. The general answer is the AppHub platform will go over to OW2 and host it. This is some details we have to check, but the general idea is that OW2 will use it as main instrument for showcasing Fix. So there is extremely good chance that